Welcome to the Resilience Project podcast, the podcast where we forge bulletproof, resilient minds and bodies for struggling men, empowering men to triumph over life's toughest, and I mean absolutely toughest challenges. I'm your host here today, Abdul, and I'm thrilled to have you part of this journey to join me on this transformational, resilient, and growth transformational journey. In this podcast today, we are going to be diving deep into the core issues or some of the core issues of our health, our well being, and to focus on some of the key areas like fitness, mindset, mental health. And we're going to be, of course, tackling all of these issues in the future episodes that we have coming for you your way to provide you raw information, raw first-hand facts like a lightning bolt, sharing real life stories and offering also or bringing to you international speakers to share with you the solutions, to share with you how to build the resilient mind, the resilient body for you to take control, for you to become the CEO and controller of your life as a resilient man, resilient dad, resilient father, son, for once and for all. Now, in our last episode, the first episode, we laid down the foundations for what the Resilience Project, what it's all about, what you can expect from this series. If you haven't had the chance to listen to it, listen to the introduction, I'll highly recommend going back and also giving it a listen to understand, to actually to grasp the understanding, the idea of the full context of our mission, our vision, and what we are actually working towards to. Something that we are extremely excited because we are becoming the voice, the leading movement for all struggling men out there. Today, we're diving into the fundamental question, the question of health. What is health? This is the question today. Because before we can actually dive into the solutions, dive into the practical strategies, the mindset strategies, before we can begin to delve into different areas, we thought it's very extremely important to understand the meaning, the term of health. You see, this word health, we hear this all the time, but do we actually truly understand its full meaning, its full potential? Do we actually truly understand how it affects our livelihood, our resilience? Do we truly understand the full meaning? You see, health isn't just about how active you are, the gym sessions, the foods, the nutrition that and what we put into our bodies. And health, certainly, it's not just only about being free from illnesses and sicknesses. It's a comprehensive state of physical, mental, and of course, emotional well being health. You see, the sooner that we understand and we grasp the understanding of this broader definition, because it is very crucially important that we do, because this is what actually shapes our livelihood, because it shapes how we approach our daily lives and also our long-term goals, how we live, how we think, the words that we utter, how we communicate, our social life, and so much more that we are going to be covering. But in this episode, let's start speaking, let's start talking, emphasizing on some of the different parts of health, because health, it's a dimensional factor. It has so many dimensions. Health includes, just to mention some points here, it includes physical health, it includes mental health, but also how we interconnect them together. How we bond the two together is crucially important. And we'll discuss on some of the important aspects of holistic, some of the important aspects of the holistic approach to health as we move forward. So let's get started. Let's get started. Grab your seats because we are just about to begin. We are just about to take this to a new level, like no other. Like, I am extremely excited for this to be part of this journey, to become, for the Resilience Project to become the voice, the leading voice for struggling men. So yeah, get comfortable, and let's prepare. Let's get ready. Let's spark the plug. Let's begin to strive and thrive towards what it actually really means to become resilient. So I welcome every single one of you to the Resilience Project. And I thank every single one of you, every listener out there, for tuning in and for making a conscious decision, for being part of this journey, the journey of resilience, the Resilience Project. What a journey this is going to be for everyone here, for every single one of us. So let's now dive into the main topic today, the topic of what is health. I'll repeat, what is health? Ponder upon that question for a moment, for a minute, for a second, because I'm just about to bring you some information that you will probably most likely, for most people, would not be aware of. Because health is a term that gets thrown around left, right, like a soccer ball, and it's maybe been, thrown around in all different directions. But it's also been used very frequently, especially in this day and age. But it's also often misunderstood. And and every single one of you will find and understand why this term has been misunderstood or oversimplified. Oversimplified. You see, many people equate health solely just with fitness, gym, how many miles I can run, how much weight I can lift, whether I have a six pack, how strong I am, the foods that I eat, nutrition, how many servings of vegetables that I consume on a daily basis, what I put in my body. And yes, these are extremely crucial, important elements to one's health. But ask almost anyone, yeah, this is what most people, or at least most people we know, people that I've had discussions with, this is how they equate health with nutrition, how active, the gym, and yes, these are very important aspects. These are very crucial, significant aspects that plays a major role to our health, especially mental health. And a lot of people will equate this with the absence of disease or illnesses. And true, but it's so much more than that. The meaning, the essence of the meaning of health, we really need to take a look at this at a microscopic level. Not only at a microscopic level, but also from a holistic perspective that encompasses physical health, nutrition health, that also encompasses social health, that also encompasses also recovery health, because health is not one thing, it is many things. It is also mental health, emotional well-being health. Heard of that before? Sounds familiar? Maybe because we are too busy avoiding, or the lack of awareness, how the mental and the emotional health, well-being health, how it affects our health, how we feel, how we conduct, how we live, how we behave, anxiety, stress, and how we also handle confrontational relationship breakdowns where men are led to abusing substances such as alcohol, drugs. And this is why mental health is so crucially important. We really need to discuss this. This is something that we really need to dive into. But think about this. Not if, but when the Resilience Project, when we begin to provide you the tools, the resources, and the red flags, the things to look out for, and how you can protect yourself with the mindset settings, with the mindset capabilities, with the mindset mindset capacity, how to identify symptoms, how to begin, yeah, how to begin to overcome and to conquer mental fatigueness, anxiety, and stress, to avoid masking the problems, to avoid masking the problems and the issues that a lot of men out there are physically, mentally, are actually, they are struggling with this. They are struggling with this. And before we begin to deep dive into this, in this episode, let's begin with this. Let's start with something. Let's start with the World Health Organization's definition of health, how it is defined through the World Health Organization's definition of health. We can go through the dictionaries and everything else, but today we're going to define it through the World Health Organizations. In the future, we are going to be bringing you some amazing, incredible speakers and content, raw facts and content. Actually, what I am going to do, in case if you are also watching on a different platform where you're visualizing this, perhaps on YouTube or on a different platform, let's actually take a look at this and find out, and go straight to the website. How about that? Let's go to the website. Let me share the screen with you. Let me share the screen with you so we can see exactly, yeah, how it is defined. Turn the screen here. Take a look. We are published. Okay. And the World Health Organization. Here we go. The World Health Organization. Let's take a look. What or how the World Health Organization, what its definition of health is. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Let me repeat that again. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of not the absence of disease or infirmity. I'm going to repeat that one last time so it really sinks in. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. This is the definition. This is the definition, yeah, of how of health stated by the World Health Organization. This is the definition by how the World Health Organization has defined what health means. So, therefore, we can see here instantly it is not only physical, it's not only nutrition, and it's not only the absence of disease and also infirmity. This definition actually emphasizes something crucially important. Something crucially important that we cannot afford to ignore. It emphasizes on something very important here that health is a multitude of dimensional dynamics. It's a diverse of many things. It's not only about avoiding sickness, it's not only about thriving in various aspects of life. It is also mental health. And why is that? I often raise the question. The, like we visually see around us, there is so much time investment and investment in so many different ways in nutrition, investing in one's physical health. And yes, again, these are very crucial, important. We should be implementing these into our lives. But I don't understand why there is not this visible, why there is not this important, significant investment into mental health. So when we speak about physical health, yeah, we are referring basically to the condition of our bodies, the physical health, not mental health. And this also includes everything, the efficiency of our bodily functions. When you speak of physical health, it's bodily functions. It's the level of physical fitness, how we move, how we feel, how we see ourselves from the naked eye, how we perform physically. But how do we actually perform? Yeah. What's how do we perform, or how do we understand rather what is happening, what is going on from the inside? The inside, just as you can't see, just as you can't see what's happening from the inside, your heart, your liver, the functions. Not unless if you perform some X-rays, perform some unsimplified or some thorough examinations, you'll be able to understand. You'll be able to understand. We have access to all of this. But the mental health, the symptoms, the things to look out for, is also as crucially important. And we need to make a genuine, authentic investment into our mental health. Into our mental health. Yes, nutrition, what we eat, significantly also impacts physical health. A balanced nutrition supports bodily functions. It helps to improve immunity, helps to maintain a healthy weight. Exercise or regular physical activity strengthens our muscles and bones, improves cardiovascular health that we can get into in our future episodes, enhances flexibility, balance. It also enhances mood. It also helps the crucial role of managing stress, and also helps to boost our mood. All of these are different aspects, different areas of health. Your sleep, your recovery is also another aspect of health. Mental health is the area that we want to focus on today. Mental health. Let's talk about that. This is what we really want to touch on today. Mental health. It is so extremely important, and I honestly feel there has not been a authentic or genuine or good enough investment that has been put into this area, because mental health involves so many areas and we need to begin to invest into this area. It involves our emotions, emotionally. It involves psychological. It involves social well-being. It affects how we think. It affects how we feel. It affects how we act, how we behave. It affects our relationships. It affects our financial situations. It affects every aspect, every area of our life. It also determines how we handle stress, how we relate to stress, how we relate and to others, and how we build, how we also make choices, build decisions, moving in the forward direction. It involves every aspect of our life. It also affects how we handle exercise, affects nutrition. You see? You see, do you begin now to understand, or you begin to understand the importance of mental health? With my discussions with a lot of struggling men, they begin to, as they shouldn't, but they do begin to dismiss the idea of physical activity because they're overly whelmed with anxiety and stress, so many issues, so many anxiety, and they begin to isolate themselves is because mental health, mental psychological matters. If we don't control what happens in our heads, if we don't understand the symptoms, it will take over all areas of life, every single aspect in life. It will definitely devastate your life. It is traumatizing. It will suck you down into the ground. And this is why it's so important that we emphasize, we begin to understand the mental health, the mindset aspects, because emotional well-being involves understanding and managing our emotions. It also involves maintaining a positive outlook and also having the ability to bounce back from setbacks. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Who cares? Who gives a shit if you fall off the bandwagon? Who cares? You fall off the bandwagon, it's okay. Just don't get stuck there. Get back up and begin to move forward. But the problem is, many struggling fathers are having struggling, struggling abilities, not knowing how to get back up. They fall in the pit holes off the bandwagon. They want to get back up, but they don't understand how to revive and how to get back on that bandwagon and to begin to move forward with the resilience they actually need. Because mentally they are being distorted, and this is why mental resilience is so crucially important to help us to cope, to understand, to maintain, and how we handle and cope with stress and adversities. Not only how to handle and how to cope with stress and adversities, but to use the adversities and to use the stress in exchange for resilience to overcome and conquer these challenges. Because it's so significantly bloody important that we build the mental resilience. The moment we begin to build and to understand, and you will begin to understand in our future episodes how to build that resilience. That bulletproof resilience, I promise you will triumph over every life challenges. I did it, and many fathers who have did it, who have gone down in the pit holes of fire, and now they have become one of the world's most significant, one of the world's most successful individuals that we know of today. And stay tuned, because we are going to bring them into our future episodes, future future, they're going to be sharing stories with us. They're going to be sharing also the things that you can begin to do to begin to build stronger relationships, because that's what mental health, when your mental health collapses, that's what it does. It destroys you. On the resilience project, this is where we are going to begin to start building ruthless, bulletproof, resilience, stronger relationships, stronger financial matters, stronger social life, stronger health, mentally, physically, nutrition, in every aspect of life. With a resilient mental health, guess what? You will become the one and the only unstoppable resilient, because now you are going to begin to take the final control of your life. You will finally become the controller, the CEO of your life, because now you are in control of your mind. Now you dictate what happens in here. It is not the paradigm, it is not the emotions that you are that is dictating your choices, your life, your decisions, your way of life, how you how you want to live your life. And remember, a time there was a time I was also struggling with anxiety. I'll tell you, back then, looking back, it was not fun and games, but I am so grateful that I made the decision to get back up. I made the decision like a Ron lion, like the resilient man, yeah, to work on myself. And I worked on myself. I worked on myself to build the resilience, to build the strength, the inner strength to take control over the negative emotions that was happening in my head. Because the moment you take control of what's happening in here, I promise you, every aspect of your life, it is going to change forever. Forever. I learned to manage my anxiety. I learned to overcome my anxiety. And now I am so grateful that coming from places of, how I would define it, places of darkness, now I am striving and thriving. And now this is your turn, because I am going to become the leading voice for every struggling man out there. This experience taught me, and it's going to teach you the same thing. It taught me profound impact mental health, because it has had a incredible significant impact on my life, and it will also have the same on you as well. It will also have the same on you as well. Poor mental health can lead to so many issues. It's so friggin' important that we physically and mentally connect ourselves together. We need to bond the physical and the mental connection together. We need to bridge them together, because poor mental health can lead to what? Poor physical health, poor communication health, poor financial. It can lead to drastic situations. It is unfortunately a reality of today. Of And mental health struggles can or will actually manifest into physical poor health, financial drastic situations, leading to symptoms like fatigue, headaches. You're going to have the headaches. You're going to have stress, anxiety, feeling alone. It's difficult. You're feeling alone. You feel like no one cares. You become very isolated, very, very isolated. So understanding health from a mental perspective, from a holistic way. It is going to help us to realize the importance, the balance of all of these areas that we have covered by nurturing both mentally and physically in every other aspect, yeah, in our lives, so we can lead a fulfilling, inspiring life, a resilient life. In the next segment, we'll be delving into, well, we're going to be delving deeper into more topics that we have covered today, but there's going to be speakers that we are going to be having on our future episodes as well. Just to give you another insight, there will be true life stories, real life stories, but we are also going to be sharing with our listeners, with everybody, what really goes on out there, real life stories on job sites, families, and what really happens in a man's life. Depression, anxiety, abusing alcohol, drug substance, where it leads to. And some of the stories that we are going to be sharing, it is absolutely saddening. It is absolutely saddening. And we need to share those stories to to reveal, yeah, to create the awareness. We need to create the awareness out there. A lot of people are unaware of what really happens. We are going to bring it out to the world. We are going to be sharing those stories, but also we are going to be sharing practical steps that you can begin to live with, strategies to enhance you physically, mentally, in every aspect in your life. But first, from today, if you are listening, begin to reflect on your health, mentally, physically, especially mentally. And what it also, and begin to ponder and begin to reflect what it actually means to you today on a personal level. What areas of health do you really feel strong in that you really need to focus on it? And which areas of your life really requires more energy, more attention in? If you really want to understand, if you really want to understand the first stepping stone, observe the results in your life. Observe the results in your life to understand what requires your most attention, your most distinctive attention. Observe the results. I know a lot of you out there are going through such critical, difficult times. And I can tell you, most of it, if not everything, it's actually what's happening in here. I am looking forward to see you in the next episode. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. This is your host here, Abdul from the Resilience Project podcast, and I will see you on the other side on our next episode.